Let's call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Madam Chair, Juanita Gurle-Giron.
Present.
Commissioner Ember Davis. Here. Commissioner David Romero.
Here.
Commissioner Vince Howell.
Here.
Commissioner Barbara Casey.
Here.
Commissioner David Olivetti.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Please keep in mind all of our community members that had damage throughout the major windstorm that we had. Pray for them to get their situations all straightened out and be safe throughout our community.
Thank you, Councilor Hall.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Casey,
I move approval of the agenda.
do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Howell.
Yes.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Casey.
Yes.
Commissioner Olivetti.
Yes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Casey and a second by Commissioner Howell. Thank you, Madam Chair. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of February the 20th, 2019.
As amended?
There were
No amendments?
no
Okay.
amendments.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the minutes as presented.
Second.
Commissioner Howell, roll call.
Commissioner Romero.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Howell.
Yes.
Commissioner Casey.
Yes.
Commissioner Olivetti.
Yes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Casey, a second by Commissioner Howell. Thank you, Madam Chair. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is public input. We do not have anybody signed up for public input at this time.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda is the presentation, the Housing Authority Finance Report by our financial specialist, Natasha Martinez.
Okay.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, in front of you guys this evening you have the finance report through February 28th, 2019. 67% of the year has lapsed. We passed month 8 of our fiscal year. Our revenues are being accrued, and like I've said in the past, our dwelling rent and operating subsidy are our accruals. We still have, I'd say, about $280,000 in cash that is still in locks that doesn't get released. We get our $59,000 every month, but we do record it as they are being accrued. So that's where our operating subsidy is. Same thing with dwelling rent. This isn't the actual amount collected, but this is the amount billed out. We are pretty good at collecting the majority of what we bill out. The majority of the uncollectibles are going to be like our move-out expenses, which are normally in the other income area, and those are for basically like maintenance supplies, windows that have been broken after tenants move out, that kind of stuff. So those are kind of been our uncollectibles late, as of late. Our transfers, as you guys can see, were released in February, like we had talked about in January. So we have received the full transfers for both our 17 and 18 grants. So those are in there, as well as we're still getting our monthly transfer in from general fund of that $10,000. As far as our expenditure side goes, our employee expenses are right in line on where they should be currently, and our operating expenses are a bit lower. We are going to be talking to finance about possibly doing some line item transfers. We have a couple trucks that are down right now that we may need to be replacing. So that's kind of where we stand with our expenses, and that's what I have.
Questions, comments? Okay, let's continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners. The next item on the agenda is the Housing Director's Monthly Report. Reporting that housing maintenance staff prepared 4 units for move-ins while continuing to do work orders and groundkeepings. Again, they did address all emergency work orders within 24 hours. There was an emergency repair of a water leak on Sagebrush. The work was done by JCG and Northeastern Construction along with housing maintenance personnel. We would like to thank the Utilities Department for their help in alleviating the problem there on Sage Rush. For housing management, the waiting list manager continues to accept and process applications daily. At the end of February, there were 57 applicants on the waiting list, with 4 applications being processed for move-in. The housing managers continue with their lease enforcement, annual renewals, lease special and other inspections, and other day-to-day operations. We're awaiting a court date for an eviction to magistrate court. The Resident Advisory Board will be meeting on April 3rd. There was a scheduled meeting the day of the winds that had to be scheduled due to the closure. So there will be a Resident Advisory Board on April the 3rd at 12:00 p.m. to discuss the 2019 annual plan and the Capital Fund Program 5-year action plan. And there will also be a public input meeting on April the 16th at 4 p.m. at the Housing Authority office. That meeting is open to the public also. As far as training, the housing staff continues to attend the monthly safety trainings provided by Risk Management HR. The Housing Authority is still offering the smoke-free cessation classes to residents of public housing, 2 classes being offered each month. The Lead the Way board training is available online free of charge, so we'd advise please take advantage of this free training. Then I would like to report that the Smoke-Free at Home New Mexico, American Lung Association in New Mexico, sent a letter to the Housing Authority, and I'm going to let Natasha present that because she's the one who mostly worked really hard on this.
So I'd just like to read the letter itself, if you don't mind. And it says, Smoke-Free at Home New Mexico is a collaboration between the American Lung Association in New Mexico and New Mexico Department of Health, which seeks to reduce the harm of secondhand smoke in multi-unit housing, ensuring that all New Mexicans have access to a healthy, smoke-free environment. Thanks to your partnership with Smoke-Free at Home New Mexico program, the policies you have helped to create, implement, and support are positively impacting the lives of thousands of New Mexicans. I am honored to announce that Las Vegas Housing Authority will be presented as the 2019 Outstanding Industry Champion for Resident Support at the upcoming New Mexico Action Conference on May the 6th and 7th in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Marriott Pyramid. The awards luncheon will be held from 12 to 2 p.m. on May 6th. We would appreciate your RSVP to the event as one of our honorees by Friday, March 15th. You can RSVP by phone or by email to Rebecca Padilla, who is the Health and Promotions Manager. And then it just gives the link for the registration and that stuff. So I just thought we'd share that with
Very
all
good,
of you.
congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
The Housing Authority is very proud of this accomplishment. As we had mentioned before, the City of Las Vegas Housing Authority will be recognized on, what is it called? Map it?
It's the American Lung Association has a nationwide map where it shows all of the smoke-free agencies within the country, and kind of if you're wanting to move to a certain area, anything like that, it shows places that are smoke-free and will be a little ping on the map. So, and it's nice. They'll give us like a certificate and a thing to put in the window, and it's really nice. And we get like a little seal to put on our stuff to send out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, that's all I have for my Director's monthly report. The next item is the Commissioner's report.
Commissioner Howell. on this item.
Can I ask questions on your monthly report?
Yes.
In regards to occupancy, in February, there was 5 vacancy, and then in February, there's 4 move-ins. So is that including the 5, or?
Madam Chair,
So you
Commissioners.
still have 5 after the move-ins?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, the way it works, it's like a rotation thing. We might have had, let's see, total units vacant for the month was 4. Move-ins for the month, I'm looking back at January, was 6. And then the following month, like you said, February, there was 5 vacant units, and then move-ins was 4. So it changes because if we have somebody move in and move out of the same unit within the same month, the unit is not considered vacant for that month, it's considered occupied, even if it's by a different occupant. So the numbers might seem a little funny.
Yeah.
And it rotates like that every month.
Okay.
We're trying very hard to keep up with the move-outs. They're coming quick sometimes, and we're trying to house them
Sure.
right as quickly as within the month, because that's when they take a snapshot at the end of the month. So we try to move the people in before the end of the month so that it doesn't show the unit as vacant for that month.
Are we going to be prepared for the summer months for all the residents in regards to AC units or, keeping them cool? Because it's going to be a hot summer.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, we don't have air conditioning units, we don't have centralized air, but we do allow the residents to utilize air conditioning units in their units.
Okay.
Either fans, ceiling fans, they can put them on the window, but they have to be properly braced. And we do have them fill out a form because they need to make sure it's braced properly, because if it's not and there are charges, they are liable for those charges because it has to be properly braced. Because if they sit it on the windowsill, the windowsills are new and they'll break, and then that's an expense to the housing authority. So we just make sure that they're braced properly.
Would your staff be able to help the seniors that need AC units?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, yes, we can. If that comes up, we do help as much as we can, or a reasonable accommodation.
That's good. Last question. Are we doing anything for the residents for Easter?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, we don't, but in our newsletter, we do notify them of, I know there's a big Easter egg hunt that the library, or
There's
museum
three of them.
is putting
Easter
on. And I understand it's a really
Sharing
big
posted.
event. They said they're actually moving it to another park because it was so big last year, so.
We're
do
not doing
inform-
anything on property?
No, we don't really have, we could, but yeah, that big event that the city is hosting is going to happen, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Casey. Commissioner Casey.
I would just like to know if there was any damage done to any of the properties with the windstorm that we had.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, we did have some, I know some of the roofs were flapping with the wind. We did have one of our fences, maintenance wall, wooden fence that went down. Maintenance repaired it the next day. We did have a brick fascia that fell, and I'm not sure how that happened. The wind must have got between the wall, and so that did happen. But that unit is actually on, it's going to be remodeled, right? So the brick veneer is what came off, so we're going to make sure we get that fixed too. But as far as damage anywhere else, I wasn't made aware of any. I know the trees, that was everywhere.
That was everywhere.
But we didn't, as far as tenants, we didn't get any reports ourselves.
Okay, so you don't have any kind of an approximate cost for repairing the damages that were done?
Luckily, the roofs that were flapping and damaged were actually the roofs that are still needing to get fixed from the hail damage. So those roofs are already on the list to be repaired or replaced. Just we did have a couple new roofs that we did lose gutters and stuff for. So we've talked to the construction company because they're coming back to do a couple of the other roofs that the insurance company called them about. And we let them know that, there was some gutters and stuff that flew off, if they can go and replace them. And then as far as the brick veneer goes, it was already on a plan to have it replaced with stucco. And the veneer itself, it's an eyesore right now. It has absolutely nothing, it's cosmetic, it's completely cosmetic, it's not structural at all. It's mostly, it was put there like to look pretty. It had nothing, it doesn't hold up the unit, anything like that. So now that that's off, what we're doing is just going to do a scope of work and have it stuccoed because we really don't want the veneer put back on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Davies?
No, nothing at this time.
Commissioner Uluwari?
Yes, the wall between Daylight Donuts and the city, have you assessed that, or have you had the insurance or HUD or anybody
Madam Chair,
take a look at that?
Commissioners, Madam Chair, Commissioners, I did speak to the city manager about that. The fence, the wall, was not put up by the housing authority. So I believe it was the owner's.
It's on the owner's property?
Yes.
It was a mountain before, like it was a hill, the same way our property is, and they cut it to put that new development there.
I really don't know if they ever made contact with.
Is there any way that HUD or anybody can help the owner put that wall up? Because it's pretty dangerous. Even say you got the residents going by there, what if the wall just falls or they walk by there and you're gonna have a lawsuit
I
against them?
believe that would be
That'd be a
at
lawsuit against the owner.
the owner of the property. As far as HUD repairing the wall, if it's not ours, then we really can't.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lemon.
I just had one question to see, have we received an update from the DC review?
Madam Chair, Commissioners,
Or
we have not.
maybe-
We have not. I don't know if the city has.
No, we have not.
And the reason why I ask is I'm hearing, some rumblings that it's not good, but, of course, we have to wait for that report. And I was just wondering, I know, Madam Mayor, you requested this, and I was
Yes,
wondering,
I
is
did.
there a way that you could contact the person that you got started, just to see?
Actually, I have had Anne Marie follow up on that, and she's done her work, and we still have no update, so.
Because I'm under the impression that it was through Congressman Pierce's office, but now that he's gone, so is it in limbo? Is that not going to happen, or?
It's still in now. It's still being audited.
It was still being reviewed.
Exactly.
I believe it was someone
From the regional
Yeah, it was
office,
from the
yeah.
regional
It was
office.
from the regional
It
office.
was from the regional office, and so we haven't received anything that I know.
Until we receive something.
Yeah, and I just think, I think we're.
Let me ask you, though, what did you hear was not good?
Contacts, Madam Mayor, and just like you do, right there, hear things and.
Don't we all?
I'm just asking because, if it is, I think we need to.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Let's continue. Do we have need for executive session? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Howell?
Yes.
Commissioner Romero?
Yes.
Commissioner Casey?
Yes.
Commissioner Ulibarri?
Yes.
I have a motion by Commissioner Casey, a second by Commissioner Davis. Thank you, Madam
Thank you.
Chair. Motion carries.
Thank you, ladies.
Nice to see you. Stay safe.
Or,